We are Blackboard. We are Arizona.
We say farewell to the Cubs in 2018. The series finale at Chase Field tonight. Our annual D-backs and Fox Sports Arizona fundraising broadcast, all to benefit the Arizona Diamondbacks Foundation. It's the D-backs and the Cubs on Fox Sports Arizona. Good evening from Chase Field. Welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthune, Bob Renly along the way. Pretty good pitching matchup here tonight. Couple of left-handers, Robbie Ray for the Diamondbacks and Cole Hamels for the Cubs. Robbie, Bob, his last 5 starts, very encouraging.
Yeah, a lot of guys kind of staggering toward that finish line. Robbie Ray's making great strides over his last 5 starts. He has been unbelievable. A 2-0 record, a 1.93 ERA. Opponents hitting only 161 against him. The 3 no decisions could have very easily all been wins for Robbie had his offense scored any runs for him.
He's up against a big name in Cole Hamels, who was having really a miserable season in Texas. Got picked up by the Cubs at the trade deadline, and he has been unbelievable in Chicago.
Yeah, National League Pitcher of the Month in the month of August. In his 9 starts for the Cubs, he's a perfect 4-0. 157 ERA, a 222 opponent's batting average. He too has a really good straight changeup.
D-backs and Cubs up next on Fox Sports Arizona. D-backs baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. By the NASCAR Can-Am 500 at ISM Raceway, November 9th, 10th, and 11th. And by your Valley Honda dealers, where you'll get more standard features for less money. Jack in the Box. This season, D-backs home runs score free Jumbo Jacks only at Jack in the Box. By Chaz Roberts, Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Choose Chaz. By First Watch, the Daytime Cafe. And by Gila River Hotels and Casinos. The card by Gila River Casinos earns you rewards 10 times faster than ever before. Sign up for the card today. It's our broadcast fundraiser tonight. Get a limited edition commemorative print signed by everyone on the 20th anniversary all-time team, while Robbie Ray takes on the Cubs next. Today here in the Valley of the Sun. D-backs and Cubs, Steve Berthew, Bob Renly, Kate Longworth with you. The finale of this 3-game series. The D-backs trying to get things turned around here. They've lost 9 of their last 11, 18 of their last 25. And hoping to salvage this one tonight behind left-hander Robbie Ray, who's up against the Cubs lefty Cole Hamels. Chicago comes in 3.5 games ahead of the Brewers atop the National League Central Division. Joe Maddon's ball club, 89 wins, the most in the National League. And here's the Cubs batting order tonight. It's brought to you by your Valley Chevy dealers.
Albert Almora Jr. once again atop the Cubs order out in center field. Chris Bryant moves out to left field tonight. Anthony Rizzo will be at first base. Javier Baez at second base. Ben Zobrist back in right field tonight. Wilson Contreras behind the plate. David Bodie will be at third base. Cole Hamels, the pitcher, batting in the 8th spot, and Addison Russell, the shortstop, in the 9 hole.
On the mound for the Diamondbacks, your Ram Truck starting pitcher, the left-hander Robbie Ray, pitching, as we mentioned, very well lately. Robbie has given up a total of just 6 runs in his last 5 starts.
Yeah, we mentioned that the 2-0 record over those 5 starts. He could have very easily won all 5 of those games with any offensive support whatsoever, coming off a 5 1/3 inning outing against the Houston Astros. Gave up only 2 hits in that game, but 2 runs was enough.
Here's a look around the diamond at the D-backs defense, brought to you by E.D. Marshall Jewelers.
Patrick Kiblahan in left field. Chris Owings in center. John Jay over in right field. It'll be Ildemaro Vargas at third. Nick Ahmed at short. Ketel Marte at second. Christian Walker at first base tonight, with Jeff Mathis doing the catching for lefty Robbie Ray.
Torey Lovullo sitting many of the regulars tonight, looking for some energy from his bench players, trying to spark things. Lance Barksdale is the plate umpire, calling the balls and strikes. There's the crew chief Ted Barrett. He's at second base. Will Little and Jim Reynolds are on the corner. Time, Bob, for your Valley Honda dealers. Key to the game.
Boy, the Diamondbacks really need a big game from Big Game Bob. That's what his teammates affectionately call Robbie Ray, and he needs to have an outstanding outing tonight, given the sputtering offense behind him and the shaky defense at times. Robbie Ray needs to be on top of his game tonight.
D-backs 6 back in the division, 5.5 back in the wild card, with only 10 games to go. And Albert Almora Jr. leads it off for Chicago with 286 and 5 home runs.
And as always, we'll keep an eye on Robbie Ray and his ability to pound that fastball down to the outside corner, inside on the right-handed hitters. He usually has problems if he leaves that fastball up and away to the righties.
There's that curveball for a strike, and Robbie's ahead 0-2. Now more of Brian Rizzo here in the top of the first for the Cubs. Chicago won last night 9-1. They won the opener Monday 5-1. That's down the line, but foul in the right field corner. Don't forget, this is our annual broadcast fundraiser, and we have an unbelievable item for you tonight. Each individually signed print by all 20 members, all members of the 20th anniversary team, authenticated, $750 each. dbacks.com/giveback. All the benefits going to the Arizona Diamondbacks Foundation, which since 2001 has raised over $2 million. It's our annual event. The Diamondbacks and Fox Sports Arizona getting together, and we'll be auctioning off. Well, we shouldn't say auction. We'll be giving you the opportunity to purchase these prints over the course of the ball game.
And how about this, partner? What are we? 2 pitches into the ball game, and there's only 375 of these prints left already. I mean, we've talked about it for weeks leading up to tonight. This is a must-have item. You're not going to get anything like this anywhere else at any time. This is a one-time only thing.
There's only about 550 made. Each one is individually numbered. It includes a Major League Baseball authentication hologram sticker. Each one has its own unique ID, signed by every single member of the Diamondbacks all-time 20th anniversary team. dbacks.com/giveback, the place to get it. And if you think about some of the signatures on this print, you got some Hall of Fame type guys on there. Randy Johnson, of course, and Luis Gonzalez, Kurt Schilling from this year's team, members of the 20th anniversary team. Zach Greinke, Paul Goldschmidt, Patrick Corbin, A.J. Pollock, Bob Brenly.
Yeah, we keep leaving out Webby.
Oh yeah, you're right. Good call. Brandon Webb has signed it, member of the all-time team.
Cy Young winner.
Not to mention, it's just a gorgeous print.
It really is.
You're not going to get another chance at one of these. The original artwork, hand painted in an oil wash and acrylic by renowned artist John Hanley. It's truly a one-of-a-kind original piece of art, signed by every member of the all-time D-back team. And don't forget also, if you want to make a contribution to the Arizona Diamondbacks Foundation, which has done so much work for the last 20 years all over our great state, you can buy an unsigned copy for $25. It's 11 by 14. You get a copy of the print, no signatures on it. dbacks.com/giveback. Eldorado Vargas has it at third. They retire Elmore. What do you think of the lineup tonight? It's a different look out there for sure.
No question about it, and we've had ongoing arguments up here in the booth throughout the afternoon as people have stopped by to say hello, and eventually it leads to the lineup tonight. I can see both sides of it. You know, certainly the Milwaukee Brewers and St. Louis Cardinal fans aren't going to be very happy with this Diamondbacks lineup against the Cubs here tonight, but I cannot fault Torey Lovullo for trying to find some energy. This has been a dead team over the last couple of weeks, and last night probably as bad as we've seen it. And Torey just said, I've seen enough. I'm going to get some guys in there. They're going to play with some energy, some life, play with their heads up, play with some focus, and see what happens.
Chris Bryant, 281, 12 homers. The body language the last 2 games has been less than ideal. And if you look at it and you think, okay, you look at the lineup and you go, well, they've given up. Well, hold on. With all the regulars out there in the last 2 games, they've combined for 2 runs and 7 hits. Yeah. Something had to change. You know, at least for one night.
Yeah. And in a weird kind of a way, facing a veteran pitcher like Cole Hamels, who had some track record with some of the Diamondbacks regulars in the lineup, he's facing some guys he's never seen before, has no idea how to attack these guys.
You know, and Torey mentioned that with us in our meeting today. If you're Cole Hamels, you spend 4 days, the last 4 days, thinking about, okay, Paul Goldschmidt, A.J. Pollock, David Peralta. Suddenly you show up to work and none of those guys are on the radar at all. Well, who's this guy? So he's got to recalculate things as well. But I think you hit the nail on the head, Bob. The key word is energy.
Yeah.
It's been lacking the last 2 days, and hopefully it'll be there here tonight. 2-2 on Chris Bryant. Oh, Robbie Ray with that good hard curveball gets his first strikeout.
Probably a called strike if Bryant doesn't chase that pitch. Good start for Robbie.
Well, here's Rizzo, who in his first at bat last night had a 17 pitch at bat against Matt Andriese. Rizzo 277 and 24 homers. That long AB finally ended with a line drive up the middle caught by Nick Ahmed. I remember, I think it was last year in Miami, A.J. Ellis of the Marlins had a 14 pitch at bat against Archie Bradley, but personally I've never seen anything like that at bat last night.
Well, he hit some pitches that were 2 feet out of the strike zone just to stay alive in the at bat. Just kept fouling off pitch after pitch after pitch. And I'll tell you what, that ball he hit up the middle, he smoked it.
He sure did. But they had the shift on, not quite right now to the same degree as they had last night. Nick is still on the third base side of second. He was more on the first base side last night when Rizzo lined out. Statcast AI powered by AWS. There's a look at Nick Ahmed's spot right in the middle of your picture. The spray chart on Anthony Rizzo.
How about this? You talked about that Rizzo at bat last night, 17 pitches. In the last 10 seasons, there have only been 5 plate appearances of 17 or more pitches, and we saw one of them here last night.
And as you pointed out earlier, we saw the new record set earlier this season. Brandon Belt of the Giants had a 21 pitch at bat, which is the new big league mark. There's a fastball low, gets the strike call from Lance Barksdale, and it's 2-2.
That's thanks to Mike Hughes of Elias pointing out that stat about the 17 plus plate appearances, 17 pitch plus plate appearances over the last 10 years, only 5 times.
Javier Baez on deck. Tried the slider. Robbie's slider and curveball look awfully similar. They're almost about the same speed depending on how hard he throws the curve. The curve has a little more arc to it. They do have different shapes, but they look awfully alike to the batter.
Well, if Robbie's curveball continues to evolve the way Patrick Corbin's has, you'll get to the point where he's rolling it up there in the high 60s from time to time.
And he went to that curveball initially because he finally decided to give up on the changeup in the first place. So if you're looking for a change of pace type of pitch, that would be it. Well, here's Baez, who's been dangerous in the series. He's homered twice. 295 batting average, 33 home runs now, and leading the National League with those 107 runs batted in. Robbie already in a 20 pitch first. Fastball just off the plate. Baez 2 homers in the series. He's knocked in 4 runs. Not only leading the league in RBIs, but leading the league in slugging, extra base hits, and total bases. He's having an MVP caliber season. Got the call that time on the fastball. Baez 2 games, 2 homers.
Yeah, I said it before, each of the first 2 ball games, you do not have to throw him a strike. This guy's not concerned with building innings or putting together a grinding at bat. He wants to hit the ball in the seats, and he is not going to take very many pitches that are close to the zone. He'll swing at just about everything.
Now that second home run you saw, that was in the at bat immediately following Rizzo's 17 pitch at bat. So you have to think, in looking at Matt Andriese last night, that Rizzo 17 pitch AB, that really did change the dynamic of the entire night for Matt Andriese. I mean, you're talking about a guy that went out there probably looking at 50 pitches ballpark anyway. Had to use 17 of them on one guy. 1-2 on Baez. Fastball away. Robbie against the Astros last Friday with Zobrist on deck. The fastball command not quite what it needs to be. We have seen Robbie in his last couple of starts have that fastball sail up arm side a little more often than it had been. trying to come in on Baez here. And he lines it to Nick Ahmed. Give him the Gold Glove right now. Nick Ahmed at shortstop. He's been the best in the business all year long. D-backs coming up. Starting pitcher for the Cubs. The left-hander Cole Hamels 9-9, a 3.67 ERA, acquired from Texas at the deadline, and he's gone unbeaten in 9 starts with the Cubs.
A couple of different fastballs. He'll throw a high four-seamer. He'll sink it. He'll cut it. I mentioned he has a really good straight changeup, big over-the-top curveball. Depending on what's working on a given night, you might see a lot of curves. You might see a lot of changeups. You might see a lot of fastballs. Pretty good chance you'll see a lot of all 3 of those tonight from Hamels.
John Jay, the right fielder tonight. Fastballs in the dirt. Jay hitting .270 with 3 homers. Slices one along the line, headed for foul ground. Chris Bryant can't quite get there. Here's a look at the D-backs lineup, which has been much talked about all afternoon. Brought to you by your Valley Chevy dealer.
John Jay leading it off out in right field. Ildemaro Vargas at third base. Ketel Marte at second. Christian Walker will be at first base tonight. Patrick Kiblahan in left field. Nick Ahmed with a great diving stop to end that top half of the first inning at shortstop. Chris Owings in center. Jeff Mathis doing the catching, and lefty Robbie Ray on the mound.
John Jay has been a streaky hitter since he arrived from Kansas City. Right now he's been on a bit of a downturn. Last 20 games hitting just under 190. That's a bullet into center. Leadoff single. Good start.
John Jay hanging in tough against a tough lefty that time. Gets a breaking ball up and out over the plate. Might have been a cut fastball, but stays right on it. Drives it back up the middle for the first knock of the game.
John Jay, a former Cub. Here's Ildemaro Vargas, the start at third base tonight, batting second. His numbers at AAA Reno this year, where he put together a 35-game hitting streak.
I'll tell you, partner, the Cubs starting pitching in this series has been pretty good. 31 of the 64 at bats were a 1-2 or an 0-2 count for the Cubs starting pitchers in the first 2 games. Almost half. Only 2 walks, only 4 3-ball counts in 2 games.
There's that Hamels changeup. 0-2 on Vargas. Vargas this year only 8 plate appearances. with the Diamondbacks. He's 0 for 8 with 4 strikeouts, and he's down 0-2. Ketel Marte on deck. D-backs 6 back of the Dodgers NL West lead. They are 5.5 out of a wild card spot currently held by Milwaukee and St. Louis. The Rockies a game and a half back in the division. Colorado 1 game behind the Cardinals for that second NL wild card. Vargas hits a bouncer to shortstop. Russell, Baez, and they can't turn it. Throws off line. Here's a look at the Chicago defense tonight, brought to you by E.D. Marshall Jewelers.
Chris Bryant already dirty out there in left field, diving for that foul ball. Albert Almora Jr. in center. Ben Zobrist over in right field. It'll be David Bodie, Addison Russell, Javier Baez, and Anthony Rizzo third to first across the Cubs infield. Wilson Contreras behind the plate once again tonight, or lefty Cole Hamels.
Switch hitting Ketel Marte batting from the right hand side. 252 and 12 homers. Marte homered in his first at bat last night as a right hand hitter against the Cubs' Mike Montgomery. Ketel Marte has now homered twice in his last 3 games.
Watch the back picks from Wilson Contreras.
That's a base hit into left field. Well, so far through 3 batters, this lineup has got half the amount of hits the entire lineup had last night.
Nice hitting right there. Went down to get that pitch, caught it off the end of the bat a little bit, but hit it in a good spot right through that left side of the infield. D-backs at first and second with 1 out for Christian Walker.
And we know what Walker can do against high-profile lefties. He's homered twice this year against Clayton Kershaw, hitting 171. And at first base for Goldie, batting cleanup. And this is driven deep to center field. It's gone! How do you like this lineup now?
Center cut fastball at 93 miles an hour, right down there where Christian Walker likes him, and he put a charge on that one.
445 feet. I'd say the energy level has come up just a bit. That's a free jumbo jack at Jack in the Box tomorrow with a purchase of a large drink. Here's Patrick Kivlahan. So the Diamondbacks, with all the starters in there, scored a total of 2 runs in the previous 2 games. So far, they've scored 3 runs in 4 batters with this new look. Kivlahan is the left fielder.
Guarantee you somewhere on that third base dugout, somebody is calling Goldie Wally Pipp. Wally Pipp was the first baseman that took a day off because he had a headache in favor of Lou Gehrig, who played the next 2,100 and some games in a row.
It worked out pretty well for everybody except Wally. And Kivlahan gets into one. That's going to get to the wall. Kivlahan around second. He's headed for third, and he's in there with a triple.
The Cubs are giving him a lot of room out in that left center field gap. You can see where Almora is positioned at the beginning of the play. He splits that gap perfectly out near the 413 mark. Realizes it's going to take 2 good long throws to get him, and ends up at third base with a triple.
Well, he had been just 1 for 3 as a Diamondback this year, picked up from the Mets earlier this month. So we're a double away from the cycle in the first inning. Here's Nick Ahmed. 3 runs are in. Kivlahan at third, still just 1 out. Infield comes in for the Cubs. Nick 0 for 7 in the series. He punched out 3 times in last night's game.
Diamondbacks have been 0 for their previous 5 with runners in scoring position in this series before that Christian Walker home run out on the home run porch.
It's interesting, all the blue Cubby t-shirts that have been here for 3 games. It's a little quieter right now. Long way to go.
Take the fans out of the game. Score early.
But you've definitely changed the tone and tenor of the series to this point. Nick trying to tack on one more right here. Popped it up. Foul ground. Bodie coming in.
You know, being told that the D-backs 20th anniversary print we're down to 350.
Wow. So we've sold 200 already, and we're not even through the first inning. Chris Owings, the center fielder tonight, in for AJ. 195 and 3 homers. It's our annual Diamondbacks Fox Sports Arizona broadcast fundraiser. Since 2001, you fans, along with all of us, have helped raise more than $2 million for the Arizona Diamondbacks Foundation. And we are giving you the chance tonight to purchase a one-of-a-kind D-back item. What a collector's item this is. A print commemorating the Diamondbacks 20th anniversary, personally signed by each and every single member of the all-time D-back ball club. And if you want to purchase one, $750 for the print signed by everyone. You can get an unsigned copy for $25 at dbacks.com/giveback. And we'll keep this going throughout the ball game tonight and the post-game show here on Fox Sports Arizona.
Yeah, if you think about it, if you're one of those D-backs fans that goes to Salt River Fields to watch the workouts on the backfields in the early mornings, you catch some of the guys on that 20th anniversary team wandering in and out and watching the workouts here at Chase Field. Maybe get the $25 one and get your own autographs.
Yeah, chase them down. And most of those guys are there at some point.
Yep.
I know you will be. Owings dunks one into right field. Kivlahan's home, and it's 4-0.
Not hit as well as some of the balls in this inning, but it's about time the Diamondbacks start to get some dropping in. That time right off the end of Chris Owens' bat, dunks it out there in front of Ben Zobrist for an RBI base hit.
So good to get that extra run, that tack-on run, not to leave Kivlahan down there at third. It makes such a difference over the course of 9 innings. So Robbie's got to get a bat in his hand now. He's on deck as Mathis steps in. Jeff at 210 on the year. Mathis starting behind the plate in back-to-back games. He got a single in last night's ball game. Diamondbacks in their 2 previous games in this series, 2 runs on 7 hits. Tonight, 4 runs, 5 hits. Mathis gives it a ride. Deep right field corner. Zobrist has got it. But the Diamondbacks put up 4 in the first. Led by Christian Walker, his 3rd of the year, takes Cole Hamels deep. It's 4-0 D-backs.
telecast since 2001, Fox Sports Arizona has teamed up with the Diamondbacks to give back to the Arizona Diamondbacks Foundation. And over that span, over $2 million has gone back to local charities and those in need. And tonight, thanks to the generous givings of viewers like you at home, that number can grow exponentially. And you have a unique opportunity to get involved in this. By donating tonight, you can take a part of Diamondbacks history home with you. That's right. This limited edition of the D-backs 20th anniversary team is available for you. Now, there are prints of different sizes. The bigger size right here that you're seeing, the 20 by 24, includes an autograph by each of those players named by you fans to this 20th anniversary team. There are also smaller prints that are absolutely incredible for a smaller donation of $25. So many things to do, guys. This is just a win-win situation. You give back to the community, help those in need, and also you're going to be the envy of anyone who comes over your living room and sees that portrait up. You can find more details at dbacks.com/giveback.
That's for sure, Kate. This is your only opportunity to purchase this item is tonight during our broadcast fundraiser. And the most important thing is that all the proceeds from our broadcast fundraiser benefit the Arizona Diamondbacks Foundation, which since 2001 has raised over $2 million for our great state of Arizona. Here's Ben Zobrist, who is down 0-2 against Robbie Ray. So you can get these prints during the game and up until a half hour after the game ends throughout the post-game show. And each print includes its MLB authentication hologram sticker. Everyone has its own unique ID. It is a once-in-a-lifetime MLB licensed keepsake item. No doubt about that. Just didn't get the call from Lance Barksdale there. It's 1-2. I did notice in the photo of the print that you are standing on the end next to Randy. Line to third, and there's Vargas.
Yeah, there was a perspective issue. I was standing a little bit in front of Randy, and of course he's 9 feet tall anyway, but yeah, I look like Wendell Kim. I come up to about Randy's waist.
See, there you are on the very end there on the far left next to Randy.
Bigger than life.
Probably. Well, see, I think they gave Randy an extra foot or two on you there.
He might have been actually standing on the mound.
Wilson Contreras, the Cubs catcher. Contreras hitting .258, 9 homers. Our friends at Arizona Snake Pit, which do a great job covering the Diamondbacks, one of the best fan sites around, had seen the lineup earlier today and did a little what do you call them, the memes, the gifs, the memes, the whole thing, with a white flag going up from a ship, looking at our lineup and saying, well, they've given up. But now they have revised things, and there's a Torey Lovullo pirate flag that's gone up. Hey, it's National Talk Like a Pirate Day today, by the way. So the pirate flag is up. Our friends at the Snake Pit on top of everything. 1-2 on Contreras. Got him. Well, the fastball is second strikeout.
Yeah, good spot for that fastball up there around the letters with a little extra giddy up.
Here's the third baseman, David Bodie, hitting .235. He's got 6 homers, a couple of singles in the series. We talk all the time about the importance of a shutdown inning. Robbie Ray handed a 4-0 lead. Be awfully nice if he can go 1-2-3 here. You've got the pitcher Hamels on deck, batting in the 8th spot. Robbie, you can see him starting to build some momentum now, getting into that groove, that slot where his tempo and rhythm just take over. But sometimes he gets in that and gets a little too quick, and I think it looks like that's what's happened on the first two pitches in this at bat. That one just missed low, and now he's falling behind 3-0, maybe overthrowing just a bit, trying to create some momentum of his own with Hamels on deck.
Especially when you get 2 quick outs in the inning, I think every pitcher starts to get ahead of themselves a little bit.
Sort of looks like that's happened in this, just in this at bat. But still time to regroup here. 3-1. Came in with a fastball, but missed inside his second walk, and now here's Hamels, the pitcher.
Pitcher, number 35.
Will Venable coaching at first. Here's Hamels.
2 for 17 on the season with 10 strikeouts for Cole Hamels. 2 for 19, excuse me.
10 strikeouts in 19 at bats. Rockies and Dodgers just underway in Los Angeles. Tyler Anderson for Colorado. Walker Buehler for the Dodgers. LA won last night on a Chris Taylor walk-off homer to pull a game and a half up on Colorado atop the NL West. Diamondbacks 6 back in the division, 5.5 in the wild card. There's a strike. Cardinals lost at Atlanta earlier today, 7-3. Touki Toussaint got the win for the Braves. Had 8 strikeouts in 5 2/3. Sliders a strike. Brewers are home against Cincinnati, and Milwaukee beating up the Reds 7-0. They're in the 9th at Miller Park. A Brewers win and a Cubs loss would knock Chicago's division lead down to 2.5 games again. Curveball in the dirt, 2-2.
Jesus Aguilar with home run number 33 in that ball game. Manny Pena with number 9, and they held Christian Yelich to only 2 hits tonight.
Yelich might wind up being MVP. Yankees are beating up on Michael Brenly's Red Sox. Ouch. 10-1 New York. Tap back to the mound. Robbie's got it, and there's your shutdown inning. He strands the 2-out walk. It's 4-0 Diamondbacks. T-Mobile. Freddie Freeman at SunTrust Park in Atlanta. Braves beat the Cardinals 7-3, so St. Louis drops a critical game in their effort to maintain that second National League wild card. Rockies are only one game behind St. Louis for that second wild card. Milwaukee has the first one. As we see in our Sun State postseason update, Diamondbacks 6 back in the division and 5.5 in that wild card. Rockies a game and a half behind LA. They are just underway right now at Dodger Stadium. Colorado 1 game behind St. Louis now for that second wild card spot. Here's the pitcher Robbie Ray to lead off the D-back second against Cole Hamels. Tyler Anderson and Walker Buehler, the pitching matchup in that game, Colorado and Los Angeles. And so now you're all caught up. That's our Sun State postseason update. D-backs with a 4-run first. Put a bomb squad lineup in there. They were bombing away early. Christian Walker, a 3-run homer. Kivlahan tripled. Owings had an RBI single. Just like that, 4-0 Diamondbacks. John Jay got it started. A single in the first. He's on deck. First strikeout tonight for Hamels, 1 down. Cubs come in here 27 games over 500 for the first time all year long. This is the high watermark right now for Joe Maddon's Cubs. They're 89-62. 3.5 ahead of Milwaukee atop the division, but the Brewers are on their way to a win over the Reds. They lead 7-0 in the ninth. Jay singled his first time up. John Jay, a .270 batter on the year, now make it .272. That batting average drops to .243 against left-hand pitchers. Hamels reaches out and snags it. 2 down. Well, Robbie Ray had the shutdown inning. Cole Hamels looking for the bounce back inning. And now here's Ildemaro Vargas, who's in at third tonight. Vargas was Reno's everyday shortstop this year. He was pretty much plugged in there 7 times a week. Played some second base with the Aces this year, but no time at third. This is to shortstop, smothered by Addison Russell, and he takes a base hit away from Vargas. Hamels a 1-2-3 second. It's 4-0 Diamondbacks. Cubs. Addison Russell will lead off the third. During tonight's broadcast, it's your chance to give back to our community with the D-backs and Fox Sports Arizona, our broadcast fundraiser. A limited number of these one-of-a-kind prints autographed by every member of the Diamondbacks 20th anniversary all-time team are available for purchase, but only during the game and the post-game show. The offer ends when the broadcast night ends. Just visit dbacks.com/giveback and you can purchase these one-of-a-kind prints and help support the Arizona Diamondbacks Foundation, which since 2001 has raised over $2 million for our great states. That drops in front of Owings in center. It's a leadoff single for Russell in the third. A $750 donation. You'll get one of the prints personally signed by every member of the team, one per customer. And for a $25 donation, you can receive an unsigned copy of the print that measures 11 by 14. Now we have 550 of these prints. We started with only 550. Each one has its own sticker and hologram of authenticity from Major League Baseball. Each one has its own unique ID number. So we started with 550. We've already sold 225. Here's Albert Almora Jr. So we only have 325 left of the big signed ones. We have already sold 150 of the smaller unsigned ones. So these are moving quickly. You got to get going on this. We might run out before the game ends. dbacks.com/giveback. You do it all online. And to those of you who have responded so well so quickly, thank you very much for supporting the D-backs, Fox Sports Arizona, and most importantly the Arizona Diamondbacks Foundation.
And once again, as a public service, I will point out that there's only 97 days until Christmas. Rather than get a bunch of gift cards and ties, if you've got a D-backs fan in your family, I can't imagine a better gift, whether it's a $25 print or the big one if you have that kind of dough.
Yeah, I just got a text from the wife. Cindy's home. We just bought our print copy for our the office in our house. So all the money goes to a tremendous cause, the Arizona Diamondbacks Foundation, which has done so much great work over the last 20 years. Well, Robbie gives up a single to Russell behind on Almora now 2-1. Robbie Ray, a no decision in his previous start. That was last Friday at Houston. 50 pitches, 30 strikes so far. Against the Astros, he gave up only 2 runs on just 2 hits. He went 5 1/3. Against that lineup, that's no small feat. That one's poke foul, a fastball away. Robbie 2-0 in his last 5 starts. Wins over the Dodgers and the Padres. His ERA in his previous 5 starts is 1.93. Chris Bryant on deck. Curveball misses in. He's run it full on Almora, 3-2. Got the big boys coming up. Bryant and Rizzo, and then Baez. Went to the slider, and Robbie gets his 3rd strikeout.
Wicked slider that time. Started on the inner third of the plate. Looked like a very hittable pitch. To a hitter, that has to look like a fastball. Some of the swings we've seen against that Robbie Ray slider down and in.
Bryant struck out his first time. He's got 3 hits in the series. He's doubled and homered. Fastball hits the corner for Lance Barksdale. 0-1. Diamondbacks have 3 defenders on the left side of the infield. Against Bryant, a guy who crushes left-hand pitching. He's hitting .363 versus lefties this year.
As we talked about with this exaggerated pull shift, occasionally it will lead to some very awkward looking double play attempts. all three infielders on the shortstop side of second base. If that ball happens to be hit to Vargas at third or Nick Ahmed at short, you've got Ketel Marte approaching second base from the shortstop side of the field, looking back over his shoulder to take the throw.
Bryant does not look like he's picking up the breaking ball coming out of Robbie's hand. Nope. That's 4 strikeouts. He's punched out Bryant twice. He's just late on those, missing badly. So Russell still at first, now 2 outs. Here's Rizzo, who walked his first time up. Rizzo's batting average .277 on the year. He's a .250 hitter against lefties. Will be joined in the next half inning by Diamondback great Luis Gonzalez. Joins us in the booth during our D-backs broadcast fundraiser. Gonzo's signature on these prints that you can purchase, dbacks.com/giveback. A one-of-a-kind item and a one-time only offer. This is the night and the only chance to get these amazing prints, all to benefit the Arizona Diamondbacks Foundation. Good fastball in there. Robbie jumps ahead 0-2. Starting to get in that rhythm now. He's got the groove. He's got the tempo. Marte way back on the outfield grass at second. Called strike 3. Gave up the leadoff single and then struck out Almora, Bryant, and Rizzo all in a row. Gonzo joins us next. Back of the Dodgers NL West lead. Ian Desmond with the bases loaded. They've gone to the home half of the first at Dodger Stadium in Colorado as a 2-0 lead. Ketel Marte set to lead off the home half of the third against Cole Hamels. We're joined by Diamondback legend Luis Gonzalez. How about this lineup tonight? How are we looking?
4 runs.
Not
Couldn't
bad,
believe
huh?
it. Hey, I'm in shock. I'm in shock right now. It's a good feeling.
Imagine how Cole Hamels feels.
Yeah,
So
we were talking about it, Gonzo. That might have actually worked to the Diamondbacks' advantage with this Killer B lineup because Cole Hamels probably isn't real familiar with most of these hitters.
I can guarantee you before the game he was scrambling around to try to find out some info on some of these guys that he's facing today in the lineup.
I mean, you're thinking for 4 days about Paul Goldschmidt. All of a sudden Patrick Kivlahan steps in there and you got to recalculate, recompute the whole deal. Marte hits one to second. Baez is there. And Hamels has retired 5 in a row since the D-backs 4-run first. Tell us about your involvement with this amazing item that we are putting on sale tonight and tonight only.
Well, it's an incredible print that the Diamondbacks have come up with to try to raise money for different various charities out there, and it's the organization's always been about giving back in the community, and for us to have an opportunity to have this print and to go out to our fans who are very important to us. They've made huge contributions throughout the years, so we're very thankful for our fans here in Arizona.
Here's Christian Walker, who had the 3-run home run in the first inning against Hamels. It was an unbelievable effort, Gonzo and BB2, I think, just to coordinate all this by the D-back staff, who had to get everybody in place and set it up. And I mean, that's a lot of signing that you guys both did. What's that like to sign 550 copies of something? That's at third for Bodie.
Well, you definitely weren't going to get done with that in 30 minutes. It usually takes a couple hours, 2 or 3. Depends who the guy is and how their signature is. It takes a little bit of time, but it's well worth it. And for all of us that are on the print, it was a great honor to be a part of that, ceremony, and to know that this is something that a lot of our fans are going to get to take home, as well as us to have in our homes.
Bob, did you guys do it in groups? Was there just one long assembly line? How'd that work?
I know I was up there by myself with some of the Diamondback staffers who were helping slide the posters down in front of you and put that little piece of cardboard so you signed in the little slot. And
the same spot, yep.
Yeah, and the authenticator was in the room as well. I forgot that he was sitting over in the corner. I was talking about fishing with him all afternoon, but yeah, it was quite an assembly line.
Yeah, it was. It took some time, because to get that many players together, it definitely took some time, especially for the D-back staff to go out there, and some of them even had to travel a little bit to get these prints signed.
That one hit Kivlehan. He'll take his base. We only have 312 left now, fans. We started with 550 of these amazing prints. We're down to 312 left. You can get yours. $750 each for the large signed one, $25 for the smaller unsigned one, and you can get yours all online, dbacks.com/giveback. You talk about a one-of-a-kind item. This is your only opportunity you're ever going to get to buy this print signed like that, with all you guys having your names on there. Yeah, that's amazing.
And it's pretty cool. It's almost like generational. You see the old school guys on the far left, and then the middle guys, and then the guys that have been around pretty much here since the uniform change on the far right. So it's definitely a unique print, and it's great that you have everybody's signature on it.
And I think fans will get a kick out of it. Jose Valverde
you're going to spill the beans on
signed his autograph and put number 46 next to it. Now, astute Diamondbacks fans know that Papa Grande wore number 47 here in Arizona. He wore 46 with the Tigers.
Well, that just makes it even more unique. They get the force on Kivlehan. Gonzo, thanks very much, and thanks for your participation in this amazing process.
You got it, guys. Thanks for having me.
Raffle brought to you by the Arizona Lottery. You can do so right there from home. Get your tickets during every D-backs home game on Fox Sports Arizona at dbacks.com/5050 raffle. And the winning number is revealed on the D-backs live post-game show. Jackpot's already over $18,000 as Javi Baez leads off the fourth against Robbie Ray.
Well, partner, we were talking about the Cubs starting pitching and how they've been jumping ahead of Diamondbacks hitters 0-2, 1-2. How about Robbie Ray tonight? He's faced 12 batters. He's had a 1-2 count on 3 of them and an 0-2 count 5 times.
How about that? So far he's walked 2 and struck out 5. Baez lined out to shortstop his first time up. Our thanks again to Luis Gonzalez for stopping by. Starting to run out of prints. We're down to about 300 left, fans. And you've got through the end of the post-game show tonight to purchase your print. dbacks.com/giveback. $750 for the larger signed one. An 11x14 unsigned copy can be purchased for only $25, and all the money goes to the Arizona Diamondbacks Foundation. That's fouled straight back, and it's still 1-2. There they are. Even the small unsigned one is it's just a great looking print. And I thought it was a great point that Gonzo made. It really is a timeline of the 20-year history of the franchise. Baez, like you said, you don't need to throw him a strike. Robbie's now struck out 4 consecutive Cubs.
And that's kryptonite right there for Javier Baez. He wants pitches he can get in the air to the outfield, but just couldn't catch up to that Robbie Ray fastball up above the top of the zone.
So you started to tell the story, then we had to go to break. What happened with Jose Valverde?
I think he just had a little bit of a brain cramp. I don't know if he signed number 46 on all 550 of them, but at some point I would like to think somebody kind of pointed out, hey, you didn't wear 46 here.
And here's the great thing. If you do purchase this print, you're going to be able to show your friends. Now there it is on the far right. Yeah, that looks like it might be Patrick Corbin's signature. He wears number 46, of course, but no, Patrick's is up and to the left. Valverde wrote down the wrong number. But that's a great little story that goes along with the print. I think it makes it even in an odd way more valuable and certainly more fun.
And it certainly fits Jose Valverde's personality
to a T.
Yeah.
1-1 on Zobrist. Christian Walker's got it at first. 2 down in the 4th. So there it is again on the top, $750. We've only got 550 of these. Once they're gone, they are gone forever. Gets you the larger 20x24 print, autographed personally by every single member of the all-time team. And on the bottom for $25, you get the somewhat smaller 11x14 print unsigned, which is just a great piece of art for the office, for your den. You got a man cave, put it up there. You
got that great 20th anniversary logo front and center.
I mean, if you think about the signatures that are on that thing with Greinke and Goldschmidt and Corbin and Schilling and Johnson and Brenly and Gonzalez and on down the line, Matt Williams, Jay Bell. I mean, it's just a great piece of memorabilia regardless whether you're a Diamondback fan or not. Contreras struck out his first time.
I know there's probably some autograph collectors watching the ball game tonight, and they can tell you how tough it is to get all those signatures on one item.
I mean, the organization, the folks in the organization that coordinated that and got it done, they deserve a tremendous pat on the back. That is no small feat. Got guys living in all different parts of the country. There's some are still playing, some are retired, some are coaching. Matt Williams is coaching third for Oakland. Jay Bell is managing a minor league team. You had to coordinate that and their schedules. I mean, so much went into this. Contreras pokes that foul. Robbie at 70 pitches now. 46 for strikes. He has walked 2. He struck out 6. And he's given up just 1 hit. That was Russell's single to start the 3rd. He's retired all 5 batters he's faced since. Make it 6. Robbie Ray, 7 strikeouts through 4 and holding a 4-0 lead. Out Matt, the bat boy, on this foul ball. Stone cold right there, right next to the skipper. Hey, fist pound right there from Torrey. See that? That's Matt, our Coors Light refreshing finish. You know, that reminds me, we got a letter, Bob, from Jerry Padgett in Black Canyon City, Arizona, who said, you guys said send a letter, so here it is. But he said, how about doing a segment on the hardworking bat boy? Let's face it, they never get credit or even honorable mention for all their hard work. Imagine how slow the game would be if the bat boys just walked instead of ran everywhere.
Yeah.
So Jerry Padgett in Black Canyon City, you wanted a shout out for the bat boys, and there they go. There's Matt off and running after that foul ball. So thank you, Matt, and thank you, Jerry.
That's one of the great things about coming out to the ballpark. You know, we try to cover the action here on our cameras and show you behind the scenes as best we can. That one's lifted high in the air to center field. Almora should have no issues out there. One down.
Now we got Matt and Charlie down there hustling all over the field.
You know, you come out here to the ballpark, you can watch whatever you want to watch. You want to watch the bat boys hustling around the field. You want to watch the umpire rotation on a ball hit in the gap with a runner on base. You want to watch the guys down in the bullpen. There's all kinds of things going on here at the ballpark, and the bat boys, they work just as hard as the players.
He wants Jody to go. Jerry wants Jody Jackson to go during a game and interview the bat boys.
There you go. They might be too busy.
Yeah, I think you're right.
People.
It's a good point. They're booked. Here's Jeff Mathis. Mathis flying out his first time.
Tell you what, bat boys and the part of their job is to give fresh baseballs to the home plate umpire over the course of the ball game. And as we've talked about over the past couple of weeks, teams go through 10 to 12 dozen baseballs in a game. Every time they hit the dirt, they're thrown out. So they have to run out there and deliver baseballs to the home plate umpire a lot more now than they ever did in the past.
Other thing about the bat boys too, 0-2 on Mathis. You know, the game starts at 6:40. They're not here at 6:40. They're here a lot earlier than that. They didn't go. A little down there at first. They had a lot of responsibilities. He's got his own camera too. Here's the curveball from Hamels, and he gets his second strikeout.
Pretty good breaking ball down and in that time. Jeff Mathis swings right over the top of it. You talked about Robbie Ray settling into a nice rhythm out there on the mound for the Diamondbacks, and Cole Hamels is certainly capable of doing the same thing.
Yeah, Hamels, since the Owings bloop RBI single in the first, has set down every batter he's faced except for Kivlahan, who got hit by a pitch. Fastball's a strike, 1-1.
275 autograph prints left, half of them gone.
Great job, Diamondback fans. That's the most important thing. All the money goes to benefit the Arizona Diamondbacks Foundation. It's our annual D-backs Give Back broadcast fundraiser. Diamondbacks and Fox Sports Arizona get together. We do this every year. Hamels at 50 pitches, 32 strikes. And Hamels gets his third strikeout. We've played 4. D-backs have a 4-0 lead.
back to the annual D-backs Give Back broadcast fundraiser. Since 2001, Fox Sports Arizona has teamed up with the Diamondbacks to raise over $2 million for the Arizona Diamondbacks Foundation, which benefits various charities throughout the community. This broadcast is very important to those of us at Fox Sports Arizona, as well as to the D-backs Foundation and franchise, because we take pride in helping the community. But this feeling extends to the players as well. I had an opportunity yesterday to talk with Robbie Ray about this start and how he was anticipating it and trying to get the team back on track. But after that, we also started talking about giving back to the community. And actually, guys, Robbie just stopped what he's doing. He said, really, that's more important than what we were just talking about. Baseball, we are gifted that we get this opportunity to go out there between the white lines and give it our all. But when we step off the field, what we can give to the community means more to all of us. And that was echoed throughout the clubhouse yesterday when I was talking to these players. Many of them have their own charities they give back to. They all support the Diamondbacks Foundation, and it just means a lot to them to have this platform where they can go out there, recognize the needs of the community, give back, and also ask fans for support.
Ildemaro Vargas, get him! What a play! Thank you, Kate. Ildemaro Vargas taking a base hit away from David Bodie to start the fifth.
Vargas had some issues down there last night on a tough hop, but Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning and Plumbing cool play. No issues that time. Great diving stop just to keep that ball out of left field. Quickly spins around, gets to his feet, and fires a strike to Christian Walker, and Robbie Ray's digging it.
Robbie set down 7 straight now. He's still given up only 1 base hit. Here's the pitcher Hamels, who bats 8th. Well, Kate made a great point about some of these D-back players contributing whenever they're called on to help out the community in our state, and they all do their own stuff individually. I know Steven Souza Jr. and Nick Ahmed just had an event not too long ago. They got together and created a charity fantasy football league for fans to get involved with. They had a big event here at the ballpark. They had a draft for fantasy football league. Guys could buy in and become a team in a very exclusive fantasy football league. Goldie's work with PCH is unbelievable, and everybody's involved in something. It's great to see.
And it's not just here in the Valley, it's all over the state of Arizona.
We're very lucky in that regard. Dodgers are on the board in LA. The Rockies have a 2-1 lead now. They're in the bottom of the 2nd. Colorado a game and a half back of LA's NL West lead. Ahmed at short.
The Dodgers scored their run in that game on a Matt Kemp home run, number 20 on the season.
Tyler Anderson pitching for Colorado. Walker Buehler for Los Angeles. Addison Russell bats 9th. He's got the only Cubs hit so far, a single to lead off the 3rd.
Yeah, that was a big inning for Robbie. Gave up that leadoff hit to Addison Russell, and then you're facing the top of this Cubs order. They've been swinging mighty hot bats in this series, but he punched out Almora, Bryant, and Rizzo to strand Russell at first base.
He's walked 2, struck out 7. He's in that groove that he most often settles into, where the tempo just gets nice and steady. And when he gets in that groove, he gets more and more aggressive out there and just goes after these guys, and that's when he's at his most effective. Eighty pitches, 53 strikes. Diamondbacks added to their bullpen today. If you're thinking about the relief corps, Jake Barrett, the Sun Devil, brought up from AAA. So the D-backs in this September of expanded rosters now have 36 players on their expanded roster. Jared Porter, assistant GM, on the right there, along with GM Mike Hazen on the left. Slider is low, and Russell's worked at full 3-2. loses the #9 hitter. Third walk of the ball game issued by Robbie. Second time tonight Russell's been aboard, and here comes Albert Almora Jr.
Center field, Albert Almora Jr.
Almora has grounded out, struck out. He's 0 for 2 in the leadoff spot. Final in Milwaukee, the Brewers beat the Reds 7-0. So a Cubs loss drops their NL Central lead down to 2.5 games over Milwaukee. Chase Field in downtown Phoenix, watching the game and scoring along. I love to see that. That's great. You can do that. We've had so many letters, as we talked about the other day, from folks who do that while they're watching on TV at home. Score the game or keep notebooks. Go back and check it out over the course of the year.
I remember back in my first go round here in the booth with the Diamondbacks, Greg Schulte used to put on a clinic.
Oh yeah,
to teach how to keep score of a ball game and how to balance your scorecard and make sure everything added up exactly right at the end of the game.
And the governor has every scorebook he's ever kept.
How about that?
And here in the 20th anniversary celebration display that's been set up here at the ballpark, you can see a copy of his World Series Game 7 scorecard.
Well, everybody scores a little differently. I mean, I've seen some. Ken Korak, who does a fine job on the radio for the Oakland A's. He was in the booth next to us when we played in Oakland this year, and I took a peek through the glass, and I couldn't make out any of it. I had no idea what any of it meant, but it all meant something to Ken Korak. So
there's no wrong way to do it.
Come up with your own system, whatever works for you.
2-0 on Almora. That was a shot of the governor, Greg Schulte, just to our right here on D-backs radio. That's down the line and foul, out of play. Some guys use colors, other guys just use one pencil or one color pen. You have your multicolored pencil.
Can't do a game without it. I worked with Harry Carey in Chicago, and he used to just use the card that they would give you at the ballpark. Like if you bought a scorecard down in the concourse, it comes with a printed lineup.
John Jay's got it. Robbie Ray is through 5 with a 4-0 lead.
Time to take a look back at this day in baseball history, brought to you by Geico. We go back to the 1929 season on this day. Cleveland Indians' Joe Sewell set a major league record by playing in his 115th consecutive game without striking out.
Wow.
Joe Sewell went on to have 578 at-bats and struck out 4 times that year.
Now guys go 115 games in a row with striking out.
Well, I was just going to point that out because last night,
Yeah.
in one fewer at bat than Joe Sewell had back in 1929 when he struck out 4 times, Mike Stanton has punched out 200 times in 577 at bats this year.
Well, Giancarlo makes up for it by hitting the occasional long ball, but your point is well taken. It's a different game these days.
Yep.
John Jay leads off the bottom of the 5th against Cole Hamels. In some ways, this is a very different Diamondback game. We talked about the lineup. Torey Lovullo sitting many of the regulars, not thrilled with the lack of energy that he's seen the last couple of days. Wanted to inject some life into the offense, and it worked right away. So you've got no Goldie in there, no Pollock, no Peralta, and no Escobar. And so in that regard, it's certainly a very different game. But in this regard, it's the same. They've got 4 runs on 5 hits, but nothing since the first inning. So that trend continues. This is sliced out to Bryant, who runs it down and left. And Hamels is settling in now. He's retired 11 of the last 12 he's faced since Owings' RBI single back in the first.
Well, as you said, that's kind of been the MO of the Diamondbacks offense throughout the second half of the season. Score early and then go to sleep. I think Cole Hamels has as much to do with the Diamondbacks slowing down offensively after that first inning. We mentioned that Robbie Ray had settled in. Now it looks like Hamels is starting to settle in. And that's usually how you have to attack good pitchers. Get them early before they have a chance to get the right split between their off-speed pitches, before they figure out where the strike zone is on a given night. Get them early.
He got a very favorable call there on a low fastball from Lance Barksdale. Vargas, get out ball. There it is. Ildemaro Vargas. A big turn at first. His first base hit in 2018. A 1-out single. We have a note here to pass along. If you're online at dbacks.com/giveback trying to purchase one of our prints, we ask you for patience. The response has been so overwhelming from our tremendous D-back fan base that the website is it's getting a little slow. So please be patient. The www with the internet and the interweb and the whole thing, the response has been fantastic. So hang in there. It'll be back and running at full speed very soon. And the sales have been fantastic so far, all to benefit the Arizona Diamondbacks Foundation. Here's Ketel Marte, who singled and scored in that 4-run D-backs first, came home on Christian Walker's 3-run homer. Up the middle, Russell, Baez, and they turn it. The end of the 6th inning, it's 4-0 Diamondbacks.
On the game, strikes out Bryant on 3 pitches. strikes out Anthony Rizzo on 3 pitches. And then Javier Baez really made him work. Threw 5 pitches to strike out Javier Baez, one of 4 strikeouts in a row for Robbie Ray in this ball game. Boom. See you later. 96 up above the top of the zone.
Robbie, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. Chris Bryant leads off the Chicago 6th. He has struck out twice, and I don't think he's come close to hitting a Robbie Ray breaking ball so far. It's been one swing and a miss after another.
Two punch outs in the game for Chris Bryant on a total of 8 pitches.
Robbie right at 90 pitches, 56 strikes as we get into the 6th here. He has still given up only 1 hit. Madison Russell singled it, led off the 3rd. Fastball is in there, 2-2.
Yeah, Bryant still searching for that rhythm and timing of his own in that batter's box. Just got off the disabled list the 1st of September, just trying to swing his way back into game shape. Cubs expect to have Kyle Schwarber back Friday when they play the White Sox on the south side.
Called strike 3. That slider got in there. That's strikeout number 8. He's punched out Bryant 3 times.
A befuddled look on Chris Bryant's face. The big slider up in the zone for a called strike. Misses down low with 1. Elevates a fastball just to give him a different look. Hits the top of the zone with that heater and then drops another slider right on the inside corner. Our nationwide vision center's eye on the game.
Anthony Rizzo has walked and struck out. Well, your staff has been busy again. They're on double duty tonight with our broadcast fundraiser. They have all kinds of responsibilities, but they've done some research that I think is fascinating. That curveball just missed. They've looked into the memorabilia arena because this is going to be a highly sought after item. Our broadcast fundraiser print, personally signed by every member of the all-time D-back team, as Rizzo skies one to shallow center. Who wants it? Ahmed calls it. So you've got every guy on the all-time team has signed it. So think about that. If you go on to the memorabilia market, okay, and try to find something that Randy Johnson and Curt Schilling have both signed, a baseball, a picture, anything, that one item just with those 2 signatures goes for $500.
Wow.
Our print, which everyone has signed, goes for $750. So not only are you getting an amazing item, you're getting, in terms of baseball memorabilia, a tremendous deal. Your signature, we also looked into this. If you sign any item at all, one of your baseball cards, that goes for the retail price of $6.
Wow. Like fans ask me to sign a card and I say, you know, it's probably worth $0.25 right now, but if I sign it, it's only worth $0.10.
So if we can get RJ, Schill, and you to sign something, we can get $506. See, that's the kind of stuff that your staff is busy doing on a night like this.
Good to know they're doing something.
Yes. Well, that's why we need the $6. You got to pay them. Baez is always dangerous. He has lined out and struck out. I want to be careful here. If you lose him, not the end of the world. Don't give him a chance. He's homered in each game of this series so far. We've got Zobrist on deck. And slicing toward the corner. Foul ground. Jay couldn't quite get there. Thought John Jay was going to make one of his patented sliding catches.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen John Jay slide into the side wall out there in right field or over in the other corner in left field making those plays. Yeah, it seemed like he was doing it every night there for about a week.
He's had at least a half dozen of those this year. 3-1 on Baez. Wow, Lance Barksdale, that's been a strike most of the night. Not that time, though. So a 2-out walk to Baez. Fourth base on balls issued by Robbie. And the batter is Ben Zobrist. Borderline pitch, just didn't get the call. You move on. Zobrist 0 for 2. Mike Butcher out to the mound. There start to be some action in the Diamondback bullpen. Brad Ziegler. As we've mentioned before, when Brad starts to warm up, he begins by throwing overhand and then eventually drops down once the arm gets loose.
Yeah, we see Brad every day come out here and warm up with the other pitchers. They usually go down the left field corner and play catch with each other just to get their arms loose. And Brad's always throwing overhand in that little bit of a play catch session. And as you said, he starts warming up in the bullpen throwing 3/4, and then once he gets loose, it's from under.
And of course, Brad Ziegler's signature is on our D-backs broadcast fundraiser print, a member of the Diamondbacks all-time 20th anniversary team, as selected by you, the fans. So Robbie about to throw pitch number 100 on the night. He's got Baez at first, 2 outs, and Zobrist 0 for 2. Got that slider in just a little bit too much. 1-0. Zobrist has 3 hits in the series. He doubled in Monday's opener. Switch hitter batting .336 this year from the right side of the plate. And Torey Lovullo, in case Robbie runs out of gas out there, puts too much traffic on the bases, has Ziegler getting ready in the bullpen. Fastball sailed up arm side. And he walked Baez with 2 outs. Now behind on Zobrist, you've got Contreras on deck. Jerry Nair, the bench coach, in the middle there. Mike Butcher, the pitching coach, on the right. Fastball's a strike, 3-1. Zobrist, one of these guys who usually walks as much, if not more often, than he strikes out. So he's not a hobby Baez up there. He's not going to chase something out of the zone. So you're going to have to throw him a strike here on 3-2.
Yeah, and a very controlled swing at all times from Ben Zobrist. You never see him off balance, falling out over the plate. Just kind of puts the ball in play wherever it's pitched.
Fastball coming. There goes Baez from first. This is hit deep to center field. Owings at the track. He's got it. Robbie Ray, 6 scoreless innings of 1-hit baseball. Camels here at Chase Field. It was Walker's 3-run homer that highlighted a 4-run D-backs first, and Robbie Ray has made it stick. 6 scoreless innings of 1-hit ball. Robbie has walked 4, he struck out 8, and he has been outstanding. So Walker starts off the home half of the 6th. D-backs have out hit the Cubs 6-1. They lead it 4-0.
It certainly appears like Robbie Ray's evening might be over. A lot of handshakes in that third base dugout when Robbie came off the field after that last half inning.
He's at 105 pitches right now. That one almost hit Walker in the foot. 1-1.
The key to the game was a big game from Big Game Bob.
Good call.
Boy, did he come through in a big way tonight.
This pitching coach is all smiles. Mike Butcher down there. Well, we got to try and get him some more runs. Fly ball to Zobrist in right field.
Anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free crunchy beef tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at those participating locations.
Patrick Kivlehan, the start in left field tonight. He has tripled and scored a run. He was hit by a pitch his last time up. D-backs fans might not know a lot about Patrick Kivlehan. They got him from the Mets earlier this month. Originally a 4th-round pick out of Rutgers, where he was an outstanding defensive back as a football player. And when he was in college at Rutgers, decided to switch to baseball and wound up as a senior winning the Triple Crown in the Big East. First Triple Crown in Big East baseball history.
Yeah, Kivlehan with that triple back in the first inning, giving the Diamondbacks 47 on the season. That's far and away #1 in the National League. Colorado Rockies with 38 in second place, and the D-backs have allowed the fewest triples, only 16 this year.
Ketel Marte has 11 triples. That leads the majors.
And that's something the Diamondbacks have been very good at over the last number of years. They had the most triples in 2014 in the majors. They were second by 1 in 2015. They had the most in 16, 17, and so far here in 18.
That's a fair ball down the line. Kivlehan's got another extra base hit. It rolls away from Bryant. Kivlehan in at third again. Chris Bryant misplayed that one. It was a short double down the line, but Kivlehan ends up at third.
He took that breaking ball and shot it right down that third base line, just over the bag down into the corner. It looked like a routine double, but that carom got by Bryant. Looked like he took a little peek to see where Kivlehan was, and Kivlehan just never slowed down around second base. Ends up at third.
Cubs infield has to come in. Still waiting on a scoring decision.
I believe that's been ruled a triple.
It has. 2 triples for Patrick Kivlehan. A 3-run homer for Christian Walker. Ahmed and an RBI single to the list. Here comes Kivlehan. Nick digging for second, and he's in there. You know what that means? It's been a while.
Let me knock some of the dust off of this.
We got a new addition to the lineup here too.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Nick doesn't waste any time. Goes down and gets a low breaking ball and finds that gap in left center.
Another play that was bobbled out there by Bryant. Here's our
get the dust off of it. There we go.
Our taco pillow. Taco-holics. We just got this in the mail. Nice and comfy.
Nice.
When your staff takes naps up here in the booth, they have something to sleep on now.
That's the size taco that they eat too.
Owings gets into one. Way back. It's gone. Well, Torey Lovello and his bomb squad lineup have opened up a 7-0 lead on the Cubs.
Just a center cut fastball for Chris Owens, who's always hunting fastballs, and got one to his liking that time and rode it out of here for a 2-run bomb.
Free jumbo jacket, Jack in the Box tomorrow with the purchase of a large drink. 7 runs, 9 hits for the Diamondbacks, and it's been the reserves that have done all the damage here tonight. Jay has singled, Vargas has singled, Kivlehan has 2 triples, Walker has a 3-run homer, Owings has an RBI single and a 2-run homer. You looked at this lineup when it came out this afternoon and you thought, what is going on? But that injection of energy that Torey Lovullo was looking for is working brilliantly here tonight. And Mathis strikes out. All smiles. Been a while for the skipper. Kivlehan has tripled twice.
Here's a question I would have.
Yeah, I know, because he thought about it.
Yeah, come Friday night, who gets to play?
Robbie Ray now will be hit for. Steven Souza Jr., the pinch hitter. Steven at 219 and 4 homers. It's an interesting question. You have tomorrow off. And here's the thing, though. You've got 2 aces going Friday in the opener of that Colorado series. Greinke pitches for the D-backs. Germán Marquez for Colorado. Do you roll these guys out behind Zach Greinke against your big division rival? That's a tough one.
That would be interesting to see.
He painted himself into a bit of a corner. Working out great, but now what do you do?
Well, ideally, the guys who are sitting on the bench today watching the Killer Bees go out there and bang the ball all over the ballpark against a really good starting pitcher will maybe take a deep breath and relax and say, man, I've been making this game way too hard. Just go up there, see ball, hit ball.
And triple, a double, and a home run all in a row with 1 out. Souza hits a high fly ball to center. And that's it. Diamondbacks add 3 more. They lead the Cubs 7-0. Nothing lead on the first place Chicago Cubs. The bomb squad, the Killer Bees, they've done a tremendous job. You can follow the race to the postseason on MLB.tv for $25.99. Watch every out-of-market regular season game. And you'll get a free subscription to MLB at Bat Premium. Visit MLB.tv. Take advantage of this limited time offer. Robbie Ray's night is done. Brad Ziegler is on to start the 7th. Wilson Contreras, the Cubs catcher, will lead it off. By the way, they scored the Nick Ahmed base hit, a single and an error on Bryant, who bobbled the ball out there. So that's Ahmed in the 6th, a single and an E7 just before the Chris Owings home run. Contreras struck out twice against Robbie Ray, 0 for 2.
Well, what a difference in delivery, obviously. A right-handed Brad Ziegler throwing submarine after Robbie Ray was just pounding fastballs and sliders from straight over the top from the left side.
Ildemaro Vargas. Well, Vargas did not play any third base at AAA Reno this year. He was their everyday shortstop, and I know he booted a ball down there yesterday, but he's looked very good down there tonight.
Third baseman, David Bodie.
Here's David Bodie, the Cub third baseman. Nick Ahmed. Automatic. And now Daniel Murphy. He will step in and hit for the pitcher, Cole Hamels.
Three, Daniel Murphy.
Murphy got the start at second base last night. 288, 11 home runs. Murphy had a big night in the leadoff spot. Walked, singled, and homered. He scored 3 times. D-backs have the shift on through the wickets. Gets through Brad Ziegler. Ahmed cleans it up. We stretch at Chase Field. 7-0 Diamondbacks. Back at Chase Field. D-backs Authentics. Game used jerseys, caps, bats, everything in there on sale. All authenticated by Major League Baseball, on sale here at the ballpark. What's next brought to you by CenturyLink. Well-deserved off day tomorrow. And then we really get down to business here. The Colorado Rockies are coming in for 3 games. Diamondbacks after tonight only have 9 games to go. Greinke and Marquez, who've been the 2 aces in a sense, will open up Friday. Senzatella, Corbin Saturday, Godley, Freeland on Sunday. And then the Dodgers come in for 3 Mondays. We wrap up the final homestand of the year. New pitcher for the Cubs, the right-hander James Norwood, made his major league debut earlier this summer. Brought back up from AAA Iowa on September 1st, his 9th big league appearance. John Jay leads it off. Jay singled to start the ball game, 1 for 3. D-backs trying to change the energy level. The new lineup has certainly done that tonight. They lost 9 of 11 coming in. Torrey's ball club had dropped 18 of its last 25. And it's been a month since they won a series. Last series win August 21st and 22nd. They won't win this one, but they will create for themselves some desperately needed momentum coming into two critical sets against the Rockies and the Dodgers. Right now, Colorado has a 2-1 lead at Los Angeles. They're in the fifth.
Yeah, Torrey's bomb squad lineup tonight has done a really nice job. Vargas, Walker, Kivlahan, and Owings combined 6 for 11 with 2 homers, 2 triples, and 5 runs driven in.
How about that? So Brewers fans had a very negative reaction on the interweb when they saw the Diamondback lineup. They were, oh, thanks a lot, Diamondbacks. You've quit. You're not helping us. We're trying to catch the Cubs. But very much the opposite here tonight. Brewers beat the Reds 7-0 in Milwaukee. John Jay dunks one in front of Zobrist. He's 2 for 4. So if the D-backs are able to hang on here, Milwaukee will be back within 2.5 games of the Cubs NL Central lead. And the question for Torrey going into that game against Colorado Friday will be, what does the batting order look like and who's in there? Ildemaro Vargas, do you stick with the hot shooter at the table, or do you get a new set of dice?
Well, we know that's going to be a major question from the assembled media, you know, after the ball game tonight and pregame on Friday. But
it's a nice problem to have, I guess. Vargas slices this one to Bryant, who's got it. One down.
The day after every D-backs win, get 50% off all pizzas at regular menu price using promo code D-backs50 at papajohns.com.
I mean, it's easy to joke around about and have some fun with, but is it a serious question?
Well, I'm sure it's a serious question for the guys who aren't in the lineup tonight. They want to know who's going to play on Friday night. You know, and maybe that's the goal that Torrey was trying to accomplish with this B squad lineup tonight. Make those guys hungry to get back on the field. Just a serious lack of energy, bad body lingo the last couple of days for the Diamondbacks, and Torrey didn't want to look at it again another night.
It's hard to blame him. Monday, 1 run on 3 hits. Last night, 1 run on 4 hits. Very different tone and tenor here tonight. Don't forget, fans, it's getting late here. Bottom of the 7th inning. You know, the website is still down. Trying to purchase your print at dbacks.com/giveback. Hang in there. They will extend the time limit certainly if need be. Marte skies one to shallow left center field. Here comes Almora. Annual D-backs Give Back broadcast fundraiser, which since 2001 has raised more than $2 million. 2 prints on sale. The larger authenticated one by MLB. That's the cool one. The small one you can get for $25. 11 by 14 unsigned. And that's going to be it for Norwood. Pitching change for the Cubs. Back in a minute. finale. Day off tomorrow. Rockies are in here on Friday for the first of three. Colorado coming in back in the postseason fight. The final weekend series coming up. Don't miss any of these games. The NL West showdown. Charlie Blackmon and the Rockies. Patrick Corbin, who pitches Saturday for the Diamondbacks. Every game counts. dbacks.com. New pitcher for Chicago, right-hander Dylan Maples, who was first called up this year. At the end of June, he's been up and down from the minor leagues 5 times this year with the Cubs. His 7th appearance, he'll face Christian Walker, who hit a 3-run homer against Cole Hamels in the first. Walker in at first base for Goldie tonight. Part of this new Killer Bees lineup that's put up some big offensive numbers.
Watch that first pitch. Breaking ball down for a strike. Walker, 2 of his 3 home runs this year have come on the first pitch. 3 of his 5 career homers have come on the first pitch. Ambush.
The caliber of pitchers too. 2 off Kershaw and 1 off Hamels. Not bad on the resume. Fastball from Maples. He can bring it at 97. Good hard slider at 89. 2-2 on Walker. Kiblahan, who has tripled twice and scored twice, is on deck. He's in left field for Peralta tonight. Diamondbacks 7 runs. It's a taco night here at the ballpark. And he's not able to check his swing. We've played 7. D-backs have scored 7 runs. Cubs none. The NL West rival Dodgers will be here starting on Monday, the final home series of the regular season. Yasiel Puig and company will be here. We need D-back fans with us. Get your tickets as we look to beat LA at dbacks.com. New pitcher for the Diamondbacks as we start the 8th inning. It's the right-hander Yoshihisa Hirano, his 73rd appearance of the year. One of the workhorses in this bullpen for Torey Lovullo this year. Addison Russell, who has the Cubs' only base hit tonight, will lead it off. The Cubs' fewest number of hits in a ball game this year is 2. They only have one so far tonight. That's happened to the Cubs twice this year. They've been shut out 9 times. Ed Rooney. And look out, BB.
Close.
That one almost hit Dennis Lamb.
We've had one just to our left. We've had one just to our right. Both of them just below the booth.
There he is, Dennis Lamb, star of the Dennis Lamb Show.
Got to charge that ball, Dennis.
Audio man extraordinaire. And chef extraordinaire. He and the entire Lamb family gave us a crew cookout on the last homestand. They make great coleslaw, I'm telling you. Tony makes tremendous coleslaw. Vargas, oh, pretty backhand short hop pick. The throw, though, pulls Walker off the bag, and Russell is safe.
Nice play on the backhand side. Maybe just took a little bit too much time making that throw across the diamond. The longer you think about it, the better your chances of making a bad throw. And that time he pulled Christian Walker off the bag to the outfield side of the base.
Well, that's his second error at third in as many games. First for the D-backs tonight. So Russell's aboard to start the 8th. And here's Almora. Vargas at Reno this year, as we said, played pretty much only shortstop, little second base, no time at third at all. And last year at Reno, he played mostly second base, so he hasn't really had any consistent time at third. Really since he was an A-ball in the Cardinals organization back in 2014, so it's been 4 years since he's been down there. Double play ball here. Ahmed, Marte. Hey, roll it. Two down for Yoshi. Here's Chris Bryant.
Outstanding job by Yoshi right there, getting the ground ball the D-backs were looking for. It's something that's been missing lately. When the Diamondbacks have made a defensive miscue, the pitcher hasn't been able to pick up his defenders the way they've picked up the pitching staff all season long. Nice job right there to get a big double play.
Erase that Vargas error. Ahmed got it started. Bryant struck out all 3 times he faced Robbie Ray. Strikeouts have always been a big part of Bryant's game. He's a tremendous player, but he's always been a guy who strikes out a bunch. D-backs overload the left-hand side of the infield.
He's up to 98 strikeouts on the season in 362 at bats.
And he's had a left shoulder problem for much of the summer. Just came off the DL September 1st after missing 35 games. It was his second DL stint this year with that same shoulder problem. Started back in June. Throw that split on Route 66. 1-2. Rockies still lead in Los Angeles 2-1. They're in the bottom of the 5th at Dodger Stadium. Here comes another splitter. Got him. Yoshi, a double play ball and a strikeout. It's 7-0 Diamondbacks.
We genuinely can't wait to get to the post-game show because there are literally stories at every corner of this game here tonight, right?
We're going to talk about great pitching. We're going to talk about a lineup that came to life. A lineup that came to life. I can't wait for this game to end.
Yeah, and to hear from the guys in the room, and hear from the manager, and hear from Bob, and hopefully we hear from a player on the field, right? Perfect. I love it. All right, Steve and Bob, get it done. We'll see you then.
All right, guys, thanks. Well, here's a face and a name familiar to D-back fans. It's former Diamondback great Alan Webster is on to work the bottom of the 8th against Patrick Kivlehan. Webster has bounced around since his brief stay with the D-backs. On to work the bottom of the 8th. Kivlehan has been one of the key members of the Killer Bees here tonight. He has tripled twice and scored twice. 1-1 now. It's the 11th 2-triple game in the majors this year. The first, I'm sorry, Bob, the first one at home for the D-backs this year. Ketel Marte had one back in April against the Dodgers, so make that 2.
Yeah, anybody can hit 2 triples in a game, but it's only been done 36 times since 1908, hitting 3 triples in a game.
Pressure's on.
Yeah, last time it was done, Yasiel Puig did it back in the 2014 season. There's pretty big names on the list with 3 triples in a game. There's never been 4. Keep running.
Contreras in foul ground.
I mean, Ernie Banks, Willie Mays, Roberto Clemente, Joe DiMaggio, shoeless Joe Jackson. 36 guys have hit 3 triples in a game since 1908. That's just a few of them.
Well, the skipper looks a little more relaxed right now, a smile for the first time in a while. Dodgers have come back to tie Colorado. It's now 2-2, bottom 5 in LA. Here's Ahmed, who had an RBI single and scored a run his last time up. Webster's got it. And Chris Owings, another member, has come in and had an RBI single and a 2-run homer.
Receive 15% off at the Chase Field Team Shop when you use the card by Gila River Casino.
So at the end of the day, and we're still going, but you've got Walker with the 3-run homer. Jay had 2 singles. Vargas singled and scored a run. Kivlehan tripled twice, scored twice. Owings an RBI single and a 2-run home run. The Killer Bees. They have brought the much needed injection of energy into this lineup, and hopefully it carries over into the final 2 series of the year. The Rockies are in for 3 on Friday after the day off tomorrow. Then the Dodgers are in for 3 starting on Monday. CO's got his 3rd hit tonight. Brings up Jeff Mathis. Jeff 0 for 3. He's got the pitcher spot behind him. Socrates Brito has come out of the on-deck circle. Jeff Mathis sends Bryant back to the wall. It's gone. Jeff Mathis, his first home run since May 15th of last year. And the D-backs have scored 9 times. It was here at Chase Field against the Mets May 15th of last season. And Mathis takes one out of here.
Boy, Jeff Mathis, fastball inside. Just question of whether it was high enough to get over that fence in left field. A line drive variety home run that time, about 3 rows back.
302 at bats without a home run. Mathis goes yard. It's a jumbo jack for free at Jack in the Box tomorrow with the purchase of a large drink. And at bat for Brito, who hits for the pitcher Hirano. Socrates at 174. Walker has homered. Owings has homered. Mathis has homered. Kivlehan has tripled twice. 9 runs on 12 hits. Good for CO. That's just great to see for him. He's been grinding all year. 2-2 on Brito. Andrew Chafin will work the 9th inning. It'll be Rizzo, Baez, and Zobrist due up for Chicago. They have only 1 hit in the ball game, their lowest total all season. Cubs have been shut out this year 9 times. The fewest hits they've had in a game this season is 2. It's happened twice. Well, Webster came on, got the first 2 outs rather easily. A pop-up foul and a comebacker back to the mound, but then Owings with a 2-out single, Mathis with a home run. Now it's 2-2 on Brito.
How about this, partner? The last 4 games for the Diamondbacks, all losses. They scored a total of 10 runs. They're 1 away from that here tonight alone. And over those 4 losses, they hit 145 as a team. Ouch. Snapped out in a big way tonight.
Looking for that spark. Hopefully it's just in the nick of time. Brito strikes out. Mathis homers. It's 9-0 Diamondbacks. Offense tonight, but let's not overlook Robbie Ray.
Oh, he was fantastic tonight. A little shaky in that first inning, but once he got into a rhythm out there, he had that slider working down low and away from the lefties, down and into the righties, elevated some fastballs up above the top of the zone. Just really pitching to his own strengths tonight. Our Nationwide Vision Center's eye on the game.
Robbie went 6 innings. He did walk 4, but he spread them out a bit, finished with 8 strikeouts. Ziegler worked a 1-2-3 7th. Yoshi got a double play ball and a strikeout in the 8th. And now here's the clean shaven Andrew Chafin to start the 9th. Victor Caratini will hit for Rizzo. So maybe Joe Madden looking for a similar bomb squad effect here in the 9th inning. Caratini 247 and 2 homers. He struck out as a pinch hitter in last night's ball game. Andrew went with the not only the clean shaven look, he did the whole head. He's heard about it just a bit from his teammates.
You think?
There were some turtle references. Looks like, you know, when the turtle kind of peeks its head out of the shell there.
Mm-hmm.
You might see a slight resemblance. But he's much more aerodynamic this way. Caratini lines one to right. Jay's got it. And now Ian Happ will hit for Baez.
Slicing line drive. John Jay didn't get to slide up against the wall, but makes a sliding catch nonetheless out there. Nicely done.
Well, this is the end of 30 games in 30 days for the Cubs. Tomorrow is their first off day since August 20th. And so Joe Maddon getting some guys off the bench and at bat before they get that long awaited off day. Happ at 229, 15 home runs.
Just to get ready for the madness this weekend when the Cubs go cross town to the south side to play the White Sox. That's always an interesting series. They've had fights between teammates, fights between opponents, fights between managers and players. It's been a wild crosstown classic there in Chicago.
Before we make our picks, click you with home, make yours. I miss Ozzie Guillen in that rivalry. Ozzie could shake things up.
Oh, Ozzie and Lou. I mean, they're both in town at the same time.
What?
Ozzie would take shots at Wrigley Field talking about the rats and the showers.
Place is a dump.
Yeah.
Zambrano breaking water coolers. The whole thing.
Milton Bradley. Don't forget Milton Bradley.
Chafin rings up Happ, 2 down. Don't forget Gracie and Todd standing by. D-backs Live postgame show.
Of course, probably the all-timer was Michael Barrett and A.J. Pierzynski when Barrett just wound up and sucker punched him after a play at home plate. That set off a bench-clearing brawl. A number of guys got injured in that one.
Terrence Gore, last man standing for the Cubs. D-backs looking to get back in the win column and holding on to that little glimmer of hope in 2018. 9 more games to go. 6 of them here at home. 3 against the Rockies and 3 against the Dodgers. We finish up at San Diego. For the moment, 6 back in the division, 5.5 in the wild card. And Friday, after the off day tomorrow, you've got Greinke and Marquez, Corbin and Senzatella Saturday, Godley and Freeland on Sunday before the Dodgers come to town. 0-2 on Gore. Don't forget, we want to thank all of you for your support in our charity fundraising broadcast. Overwhelmed that you crashed the website. We'll get it up and running. And we'll leave it open until they are sold out. So if you're still trying to get on, dbacks.com/giveback. They will get the site back up and running. The response overwhelmed the site. You guys have been unbelievable. And they will leave the site up and running until all the prints are sold out. So thank you so much for supporting the Arizona Diamondbacks Foundation, and thank you for your patience. Up the middle, Ahmed. Ball game. Oh, Bob, they're still breathing here on September 19th.
Well, it took a very odd-looking starting lineup and a tremendous pitching performance by Robbie Ray and the D-backs bullpen to bring home a winner tonight. Just to get the feel of what it's like to win a ball game again has to be a huge step forward for the D-backs.
Hopefully a momentum starter, get a break, a rest day tomorrow, and then it's the Rockies for 3 starting on Friday. Gracie and Todd standing by. We'll take a break. When we come back, it's D-backs Live, the postgame show, brought to you by CenturyLink.